Kiki, they call me the Oracle. I'm about to make this historical. Kiki, they call me the Oracle. I'm about to make this historical. These questions you ask me rhetorical. Like, who do I be? You know. I am the queen. I'm a supreme. You didn't know? What do you mean? They call me the Oracle. I'm about to make this historical. These questions you ask me rhetorical. Like, who do I be?
At when
Peace, y'all. Can you hear me? You said, what a song. I'm not going to be on long. I wound up falling asleep, putting my son to sleep. And it was like 8 o'clock. And now I'm just up. Can y'all let me know if you can hear me? I got this headset on. Let me know. Okay, good. Yeah, today was crazy, right? You said, what a song. Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I like the Nina Simone version. She's talking about love and people in general. Hey, Taryn. Dad. What's up, Dad? Who else is in here? Akuma Jones. I know them streets is crazy. Dad always shouting out Chunk, but he the reason why I fell asleep. I had all intents and purposes of being in the bushes. But now I'm just up. I don't know. Like, what y'all think about today? Today was crazy, right? Hey, Cobra. I figured I'd just bust it up with y'all while I'm eating my dinner, which I should have had at 7. It was crazy. I might cast a spell. Oh, I know it's cold in Texas. I might cast a spell or two on some love or something way back when. But I can't seem to cast spells on winning the lottery whatsoever. What am I doing wrong? I need some lottery numbers or something. Hey, Emerald, where you at? You in Texas? Or here on the East Coast? Because we got hit bad. It's a bad, we had a bad snowstorm today. He said, just find out about you. Oh, thank you. Don't believe the bad rumors. I keep telling people, like, I'm Glenda. Glenda, the good witch. I'm telling you. And first of all, I don't identify with witch as far as what like people think. A bruja, yes, does mean witch in Spanish, but brujeria is something altogether. If that makes sense, I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I need me some lotto numbers. Hold up, they gave a million. Oh, you mean for the lottery? Well, we'll know who won it soon. Somebody be around here with like some kind of crazy ass Bentley, still living on the row house. We'll figure that out soon. But with the whole situation, right? I had did a video months ago on on a possession and things of that nature. I'm gonna try to see if I could pull it in just for a second, because I'm gonna try to hopefully take my ass back to sleep. But like I'm really up, y'all. Like I'm up. Hold on, let me try to open this up on my other screen. I'm up like it's 7 a.m. Peace, Phoenix. I like that. Phoenix sunrise. Let me try to I'll just play like a snippet of it. And if I'm not mistaken, in that video, like I be dropping jewels, y'all, with the spiritual shit. I know people, well, a person said, I'm phony and I'm this, that, and the other, but I don't know. I guess my phony ass was able, I was accused of being able to pull something atrocious off like that all the way here in Pennsylvania. No DNA, no nothing. Pictures don't do the job. Not like that. And also, I had explained in this video, I'm trying to find it, y'all. Um, when stuff like that happens, that is not even a it's not like a spirit, that's an entity. If that makes sense. It's an entity. It's something that's never been oh, here it is. It's something that's never been a person. It's never had any kind of human connection whatsoever to this dimension. So hey, I got 12 people on my Board Nash channel. Thank y'all for obliging me at 3 a.m. It's what we call the witching hour. I'm gonna set this video up. We're not gonna play long of that video. Just a little bit of it. I just wanted to give some knowledge or whatever. If I get a chance, because I got my headset on, so I won't be waking anyone up else at my house. And I'll drop the link. Hold on. Let me see how I can do this. Wait a minute. Let me play this real quick for y'all, so I can set this up.
And her name was Maleficent.
Oh, come on, that's funny.
All right. Hopefully, y'all can hear this. Let me see. It's funny, y'all. I be telling people, I tell people how to use StreamYard, and I have it all figured out for them. But because I don't go live and stuff like that all the time, yeah. To me personally, I'm like, I got people who do this shit, but then I can never get it together for myself. I'm trying to pull this up. Oh, okay. All right. 1 second. Oh, here we go. All right. I'm going to pull this in. Boom. Boom. And now I can't hear nothing. Oh. Here. But this one is just a nod to my original subs. I know you're still here, hopefully. And you came because you wanted, some of that knowledge and that teaching. Today, well, actually, what I did was a couple days ago, I did a poll in regards to if you guys wanted to know the stages of possession, and I figured a lot of people say yes. So I said, okay, bet. I'll deliver on that, because we know I don't discuss rituals in detail, but things like this I'm definitely willing to share. So let's talk about the stages of possession. And again, this is just from my own knowledge. If you have something different or you want to add to it, feel free to drop a comment below. I'm probably just going to stream this live And if you want to, I can drop the link and we can talk about it live. Um, but yeah, so let's go. Let's talk about this here. Now, the first thing I want to say is with the possession, okay? It is never for no reason. It's never for no, particular reason. It's not like, you're just minding your business and then pow, you become fully possessed. It's not like that. It doesn't work that way. I've never seen it work that way. Also, I just like to reiterate, it is a very, very, very rare occurrence. Actual full-on possession. It's very rare, excuse me. Um, and actually that goes into stage one from my perspective, which is a manifestation. When things like this are starting to happen to you or in your environment, there's either two things. Number one, you willingly invited it. Okay, you are a willing participant of this, or by chance you moved into a house or something like that. I don't know. You young folks don't do house blessings no more, and things of that nature. I noticed that you don't really do that, but I personally, yeah, I get busy. I got a whole priest come in and do my house before I moved in, but yeah, that goes into the first stage, which for me is the manifestation stage. That is when you are intentionally inviting, you know what I'm saying, something into your space, intentionally and even unintentionally. Okay, because you got things out here, um, they try to make it seem like a game when it's not. These are like portals, like the Ouija board, like tarot cards. Yep, tarot cards. Certain ones, yes, are portals. You know what Also, if y'all could just peep game for a second, well, not game, if you can just peep what I said. I just said I literally had a whole priest come and bless my home when I bought it almost 17, 18 years ago. So that kind of throws the theory out the window as far as Brujas at least believing in a God. We do believe in a God, okay? We do. And also we know that all religions play a part, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Catholic, Buddhist, all of it has a part. It plays a part. And whatever that person needs to get to where they need to go spiritually, then that's the path that you should take. All of it serves a purpose. What I mean, and a lot of times with that kind of inexperience, it can lead to things that are very dangerous. Also, I've seen a rise in doing spells and things of that nature. It's like a trend now or something. I don't know, but what's happening here is you're intentionally and even unintentionally inviting this particular energy into your space. You know what I mean? So when you start having like suicidal thoughts and a lot of reckless behavior and Hold up, I gotta turn these gifts off because they kind of scaring me right now. I'm all the way downstairs at my desk, and it's like all dark out here. I'm afraid. Let me. How can I turn it? Well, I can't turn it off. Shit. Things that are typically out of the norm for yourself after you've done these things, usually you're well on your way. You are well on your way to stage two. What is stage two? Let's talk about stage two. And again, this is just me, in my opinion. I actually took some notes and wrote shit down because I just wanted to make sure I covered everything as far as in my opinion and in my experience. Stage two. Now we have infestation. This is the part. This is the part where like the scary movies and spooky movies and stuff, they go right into it, the infestation part, But a lot of times it's subtle. It's subtle. You start feeling presence. You got the strange noises, banging on the doors, scratches on the walls. You could feel something watching you. Your electronical shit start messing up. Like how you kind of see it on TV, but it's not. I've never seen it go full blown. Hollywood. Okay. Um, that kind of stuff will start affecting you, like on different levels, especially when it's moving things around the house when nobody is there, closing, opening of doors, breaking objects. And just a slight caveat to that, when I did have this conversation earlier, uh that situation, again, like I said, that's something that was never, none of this applies for entities. That's a whole different ball game than like a spirit that's kind of stuck and trapped. So yeah, I'm gonna see if I can fast forward a little bit because I'm talking more so about spirits right here versus entities. Hold on. Um, Again, I'm willing. You know what I mean? I like was a willing participant. You know what I mean? Usually it has taken places during rituals, where we're doing offerings, that kind of thing, and I've been a willing participant in mountain. Then you have where you have your unwilling participants. That is at the mounting stage, which is I call stage three.
If it's in a ritual kind of setting, what you're feeling right now is the spirit entering into you. Um, Literally, you can feel it, and it's almost like you become like a passenger in your own car while something else is driving. And this is in a controlled environment, as far as what rituals go. Now, the problem comes in when the mounting takes place, you know, especially of an innocent. And I'm talking about even for like you parents and stuff. Like, you got to be careful what kind of energy and stuff you're fucking around with, because your children could be at risk, your family, anything around you, even your animals. So I just wanted to make that distinction between mounting in a ritual type setting versus a possession. Like, you unintentionally, unknowingly invited this shit, or it was already, like I said in the beginning, or it was something that was already there, like an energy already there. And basically, what you see is like the fight of the spirit versus the entity. When you see in them struggle, being out of control, like the person is just not themselves. This can last for days or even months. A lot of times when you see people who are super, super depressed or something like that, and they don't have a pinpoint reason as to why or what happened, and we're not talking about chemical imbalance here, because I do believe that meds can help with chemical imbalances for people who have mental disorders, and mental disabilities, so to speak. We're talking about just out the blue, you're not yourself anymore, and things are heavy on you, and things are affecting you differently. You are reacting differently. This is the mounting that can go on for days, weeks, and months. Okay, you'll see the different changes in that person, the infected person, I should say, along with all the other shit that's going on, like from the infestation stage I told you about. So you'll have all that going on, and then you have your person, the victim, so to speak, quote unquote victim, displaying a completely different personality than, like what they really are. What I want to be clear about is these type of entities and energies are very patient. They're very patient. Fuck with you like a whole couple months, year. Very patient until they get you down, man. Until they get you all the way down, and you're like, okay, you got it. Like, I give up. Like an interrogation, you ever do it?
I also agree with that. Fitness, a truly possessed person, are pedophiles and things of that nature. But again, those are spirits, I should say, who was here at one time, and like they're like jumpers. But when you get to the entities that could be in places, sometimes it's the grounds, that the house is on, and something that's, I don't know, 2 3,000 old, 3,000 human years old, that can manifest that type of energy to pull it off. Like I was saying earlier, a child spirit who's still here can't pull that off. They don't have the energy to do something like that, and especially vindictive and nasty and mean as that, because it's also it could grow stronger just by the fear alone. So let me hit play real quick.
You ever watch those videos and people are being interrogated 8, 9, 10, 15 hours, and they confess to some shit they didn't even have anything to do with? It's just like, okay, I just want it to be over. Pass me the piece of paper, let me sign. It's like that kind of situation. Seriously. So now you got all of that stuff going on from stages 1 through stages 3. You got the mounting. I explained to you how that happens at times in rituals I've been involved with or participated in. I have been mounted willingly, and a couple days go by or whatever, I'm okay.
And that's during our rituals and what I practice. Certain times, whatever your head is or whatever Orisha want to show itself in that case, I don't know if you guys, I mean, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. I don't promote putting that kind of stuff out there for the masses, but it happens during, our time of honoring and giving thanks to our Orishas. So that'll happen. That's not the mounting which we see that goes on as far as destructive energy.
For the most part. Usually, it's in a controlled environment too. So,
sorry, I didn't realize that I had
like chilling in the backseat of your own car.
I didn't realize I had rewinded it. Sorry, y'all.
It is doing everything. Anything you can think of, it is literally mounting you, writing you. I've seen stuff like this. I talk to people behind the scenes. I've seen the writing stage and the physical aspect before COVID and stuff like that. When I was actually commuting to work. I did have an experience where, and I think I posted a video about this too, the riding aspect, where, you ever see like a horse and a jockey and the jockey's riding a horse? That's exactly how it looks to me. Um, the person is no longer in control of their thoughts, their feelings, their movements, their actions, their reactions, and I literally can see it. That's the riding state. So I couldn't even imagine being, I guess, in a home or in a place with something like this. You can literally see the energy, the entity, riding it. It's a serious thing. I would see it a lot with homeless people, down in the city, and people would think they were schizophrenic or something like that. And I could literally see the energy on them. I'm like, that person is not schizophrenic, nor are they crazy. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, that kind of shit happens to people who are empaths too, and they don't know how to deal with all the feelings and emotions that's going on inside of their head. People will literally just dismiss homeless people as if they're not there, and when they're talking, and they're just like, oh, they're just a crazy person. No, like, I've had conversations, like, I just sit down and I talk to them, and a lot of times these people make a lot of goddamn sense. Okay, they do. So don't just dismiss them as just a crazy person and keep it moving, like that kind of thing. There's times I sat and I talked to them when I was down, in the city or whatever. But yeah, that's the writing stage. Then we get to stage 6. What is stage 6? Stage 6, in my opinion, is full blown on possession. Yes, stage 6, full blown possession. Possession. Okay, I'm sorry I'm laughing. I'm just trying to get my words out because I'm trying to do this in one take, and that's it. I got shit to do. This is when the target free will is completely broken. Okay.
Mind you guys, I did this video last year. So I'm just going through it really quickly since I'm up. I'm hoping that sleep catch me again because I still have to get up and work.
The aim was and is to possess you. The entity has won. Yeah. You are full on possessed. If the entity goal is your soul and that kind of, and that kind of thing, the prize, like, is their soul, is your soul, or the target soul, I should say, you'll see this person, tormented to the point of, wanting to kill themselves, or stop eating and anything to die so that entity can collect, that particular person's soul. Or you also have, or you have in some cases, that entity just wants the body, you know what I mean? To live on again, or not again, because in my experience, things that do this was never human at any point. So that's why I like to use the word entity instead. They were never human. So they're just, pretty much just latching on and riding it out, kind of like that movie I saw.
And just a slight caveat to that, I know a lot of people run around and they say that people sold their soul to the devil. Yeah, I don't believe in the devil. I don't believe in that whatsoever. And also, you have to take into account that there are humans, walking among us who don't have a soul. They don't have a soul worth connecting. I think one of my favorite scenes where they depicted it exactly how I was taught. I did a video on it being in the blood, as far as when it comes to people who have these certain gifts. It's usually passed down. I did that video on Dr. Buzzard a couple of weeks ago. Some people just don't have a soul to collect. That scene was when the high priestess, the head of the coven, she was trying to trade her soul. They said it was Papa Legba, but what they were showing was the Baron Sunday. So that's not how that's not how Papa Legba looks at all. Like, that's just a stereotypical Hollywood type thing. And he basically told her, your soul, you don't have one. It's nothing there. You have nothing to trade me. So here we go.
All when people were touching each other and the spirit was jumping. Well, the entity was jumping from person to person. The evil energy, I should say, was jumping from person to person. So at number 6, which I call the possession stage, I think there's been times, like people said, it's 3 stages, 4, 5. I personally, just from my notes over time, I found 6. And I probably, if I ever sat down and thought about it even more, I might even, find some more stages I might have missed. And then I might have to redo the whole thing, right? At this particular point now, it's coming, it will become harder and harder and harder to get rid of that energy. By now, probably people around you are suffering as well, because some people don't believe in this and don't think that it's true. Things like this does happen. It happens. And I would like for you guys to realize that even when we're talking through the internet and through these portals and having these different experiences. The stuff is real. It's real. With the new inventions and electronics and things, it just made it easier. It just made it much more easier for them to just jump through entities to jump through from person to person. That's why I have to tell you guys to be careful and mindful of how much time you're putting into certain things, i.e., YouTube and who you might like to watch. Be mindful of how much time you put into that because that kind of energy it jumps. It's I don't know why, but it's much more easier for evil and a bad energy to just jump from person to person. But I don't want to go off topic here. Back to stage 6, which is the complete full possession. Okay, I also want to reiterate to you guys that at the end of the day, okay, just recognize that you are the master of yourself always, and that spirit is always connecting with you only, and you're connecting to it. I don't care, what your thing is. Whether you practice Santeria or Bruja or all of the above in voodoo, you still, you know what I mean. You still have the master of your universe. If you need to call in your Risas, a priest, a pastor, or this, that, and the other to come in and help you make that connection again with your source, that'll work. Most of the time, it works. If you haven't shriveled up and died by then, right? It'll work. And then that entity will go off and start looking, for another soul to collect or possess, or, you know what I'm saying? The whole reason I wanted to do this is I just wanted to give kind of like a PSA on being mindful of what you do and what you do to others. Be mindful of that, because what you may do unknowingly and even unintentionally is when you're messing around with things of this kind of nature, of an occult nature, of esoteric, metaphysical, you are inviting things into your space. A lot of times, a lot of lower level shit loves to come on and wreck shop. Okay, the idea is to be well educated in whatever craft you're going into. Speak with your elders, talk, listen to the stories, go in the kitchen with them, learn. You know what I'm saying? Because those are the type of people that are pretty hard to possess, or people that can have things thrown at them. What I mean by thrown, I mean like groups or quote unquote people say hex, right? And I also want to reiterate that people like myself, we don't believe in a devil, so to speak, with the horns and all that stuff. But is there an evil energy? Yep. And it goes by many different names all over the world. Okay, in all the different religions, it's the same damn energy. I know there are different things online and books and stuff about how to invite an entity, or a possession into your home safe. Don't do that, people. Especially not in an uncontrolled environment. Don't do that.
That's another thing. Like that takes me out. Like how you got like all these different people online who actually will give out this type of information. And usually it's for people who are in some kind of a struggle. They're in some kind of a struggle, whether it's financially, love, whatever the case may be. It's almost like the same reason why, people might go hard body and, and push themselves 100% into another religion and they don't really know about it, and that's across the board. So, yeah.
I also wouldn't advise doing anything like that. Where you sleep, where you rest at. My whole point of this is just to be mindful, especially how you treat others and things that you may think you're doing to others, because you still have that law of three. Whatever you do comes back to you. That kind of thing. 3 times worse. That kind of thing. So you have to be mindful of that. So if you're over there doing your little cute baby witch shit, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna come back and hit you hard, depending on who your target is. Because again, you don't know what ancestors or spiritual beings they have riding for them. You know.
And what I consider baby witch shit, you guys, is the stuff that you see, uh, the TikTok things. I'm not on TikTok, but my daughter is, and she'll show me like certain things, the candles and the jars and things of that nature. I did videos on jars. I actually talked about, how you shouldn't do it, but that's like the baby witch stuff, quote unquote witch stuff. That's baby shit. That's not gonna cause full on Hollywood possession type thing. You know what I'm saying? Emerald, I'm sorry you had to go through that, and I feel like hopefully, now times are changing where we in the Black and Latino community, can stop giving these people excuses. I for one believe that a predator cannot be rehabilitated. I spoke about that earlier. Oh, in a private conversation about, no, not everybody deserves redemption. Not everybody can be redeemed. And pedophiles and things of that nature, no. You might as well just go ahead and get them off of this world because they'll never change. That'll never be fixable ever. So
All of our people, our spirits and energy that backs us is just as what's the word I'm looking for? It's just as unique as our fingerprints. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be mindful of who you think you're throwing it or who you think you're hexing or something like that because it might come back and hit your ass even harder, depending on who you chose to fuck with. You got to be mindful of that. You can't just go, and I made videos on this. You can't just go get mad at people and just start, cursing them. What? Who does that? Okay, because you're mad? That's ridiculous. And then this shit starts happening. Okay?
boom. You see that right there? Ashe, ashe. You see that? I said that. I said this is a video from last year. I already said that. But okay, so you get mad, you're upset, you're in your feelings. So now you're going to go ahead and pull some kind of energy, deity, entity into your space because you got mad, especially with like somebody on the internet who you don't have to interact with them. It's an X at the top right hand corner for a reason. You just hit that shit and log out. Just log out. It's never that serious where, believe me, I could find a ton of shit others do than manifesting that kind of energy. And actually getting supplies and things of that nature to pull something that off like that because somebody on the internet made me mad. That's ridiculous and it's irresponsible.
Can a person recover from a full blown possession? Yeah, it can be done. Sometimes it takes longer than other times. If you are at the full blown stage 6, I would say seek professional help. Definitely. I don't care if you're Indian, a shaman, a high priest, a mambo, a babalao, go grab them, okay? Pull them in, all right? Because you're going to need some help, definitely, because your backup was pretty light if you were able to get to a full-blown 6th stage, okay? The one thing I would say to avoid all of this kind of stuff, bless your home. Bless your home before, you move in and occupy the space. Bless the spaces that you're in as well. Also, I want you to be mindful if you are burning sage or Palo Santos, depending on the entity, that it may make them even more mad. Should I say? You got to know which what are you dealing with here. You have to identify what exactly what are we dealing with, that kind of thing. Also, I want you to be mindful if you're burning sage and Palo Santos and any other kind of like dragon's blood or anything like that, and a person is around and they are instantly upset and they get mad and their attitude changes and they run out the room or something like that. You leave that motherfucker right with it. You let them go. Okay, let them go. That is a hard sign. That is an attachment there. Let them go. Let them go on. Go ahead.
And also, I kind of like glazed over this part. Sometimes when you're burning sage and stuff like that, and your environment is compromised, or said entity has um attached itself, actually that sage and things of that nature will just piss that particular entity off. It's not going to go away. It's just probably going to get angry. Say, hey, what's up, Marwan? The hell you doing up? Did you go to sleep at 8 o'clock too? Sage is kryptonite. I mean, it depends on the entity. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on the entity or what's there. Like, let's just say, hypothetically, if the energy that's doing all of this was Native American, um, throwing holy water and using a cross, that's not going to work. That's actually just going to piss them off. So you have to figure out what you're actually dealing with.
Because what you don't want is a motherfucker bringing that kind of shit into your space, right? Also, my advice would be if you start seeing the other signs I told you from before, the best thing is to stop it early in the process. Definitely stop it early before you get all the way to 5 and 6, right? Cleansing your area spiritually, that is. Stop trying to make contact with spirits. Hold on one second. My bad, y'all. The dog, and she barks at everything. It could be a person way down the street going up their own damn driveway, and she's never seen anyone survive that. Not full blown 6. No. Mm-mm. I'm trying to think. Maybe if I think hard enough, because I've been studying. I mean, I'm a teacher in some sorts, but I'm also a student. I'm always a student. I'm always learning. I'm thankful on that. If I could ever recall, because I can only count on one hand how many times I've ever seen full blown, number 6, as far as full blown possession.
Skinwalkers would need like a whole separate video. That's a whole different thing we got going on there with that. I do believe they exist though. We have some even walking around these YouTube streets. This video ain't gonna be too much longer. So if y'all don't have any questions, I said ask a Bruja, damn it. Because listen, my ass was being burned at the stake, okay? The stake, excuse me. But I found it all hilarious. You guys, thank you for all the outpouring and things of that nature. And yeah, that was really strange. And I always try to find humor in almost anything. But not when it comes to kids. No. I love the babies. Hold on.
Also, I can count on one hand how many times I saw a legit person be, quote unquote hexed or crossed or thrown at, whatever your lingo is for it. Legitimately, I can count on one hand where I saw that it was actual truth. Somebody threw at your ass and taking you, dragging you up and through the spiritual streets. Okay. Legitimately less than 5. But yeah, this is just some tools for you to think about. Any comments, questions, depending on when I premiere this, I will drop a link. I am a mommy and I'm working, but I wanted to get this out there because I wanted to stand by, what I said I was going to do. And this is for,
Yeah, Cobra, that's why I said the skinwalker thing, that would have to be a whole separate video, because that needs to go into more detail, more time than I have, because I'm hoping I can fall asleep, go back to sleep soon. I don't know why. I mean, every time I put the baby to sleep, turn the lights down low, put the little salt lamp on, turn the TV off, it happens almost all the time. And then I wake up like 2, 3 in the morning, like it's 7 in the morning. My God.
my day ones who came to me for the spiritual stuff, who came to me for their occult stuff, for the, the spooky stuff, quote unquote spooky stuff, spiritual stuff, the African spirituality. This is just a nod to you guys. Thank you. Thank you for rocking out with me, even through like, my low key funny troll videos or, me fussing at somebody. Thank y'all for riding out with me. You feel me? I'm going to take it back more to the basics on why I came to YouTube, why I became a content creator in 2018. It was all about the spirituality, and I'm still going to be doing all about the spirituality too. All right, y'all. Y'all have a beautiful day. Depending on when I post this is the part where I'll drop the link and we can talk about it. If not, drop your comments below. All right, I gotta go, y'all. Peace.
Okay, y'all. That was just a quick little live about the possession video I did last year. So I don't see any questions, which is no one behind here, back here. So that's cool, because I'm going to try to go back to sleep. Okay. So it was good popping on quickly and having just this brief chit chat. I mean, from there, just a couple people came up on the panel. Anyway, but the video is still on my timeline or whatever, so you can check that out. But yeah, y'all have a great morning. I'm gonna go ahead and try to go to sleep. All right. But again, thanks for the people who reached out. Thanks to the people who we all were able to make amends yesterday, so to speak. So yeah, good things can always come out of chaos. All right. So y'all have a good night. Thank you for joining me in the wee hours. And I'm just going to go ahead and leave you guys with this.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.
I don't like you. I don't like your energy. Stay away, demon.